Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Asian Indices report, and starting with the ASX here on the daily chart. We're pretty much on track here. We are looking for from wave 4 here an extension in wave 5 here, and our main job here is really to count 5 waves within this particular structure here. Let's go in and drill in on this little section here. So we'll go to the 4-hour chart here. So from this wave 4 here, we're looking for 5 waves up, and we can use this. The best fit that I've got here is wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and then this little 5 waves here is wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then 5 here. So that's a fit there. Yeah, I mean, it's just the best fit that I can see. So it still leaves us with wave 4 here, and this is what we'll be talking about next. So we've got wave 3 and wave 4 here. We've been counting 5 waves up through to here, and we've come in on our target area here. So we could also say too that that we've got the first high above the level here. So the 6,300 here is really important. It's the number 3 is what we call group 1, and if we get a tested support on that, then we need to go long again. So I just really want to talk about this here for a moment. So if we get this pattern here, so this is the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level here. So we've got the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then we've got our move down here. So we've got this high in here. So what we normally do is we would go long. If we've made a mistake somewhere, then we would go long above that particular high. That would be our first sort of reference point there. So in a nutshell, this can come over to here, and we don't have to worry about it just yet, but it's always important to have that there, and we should be able to get a better price lower if we get this. We should be looking for 3 wave correction, an A and a B and a C here. So the first move down here appears to be in 5 waves, so it's just really the first leg. But if we do get an A, B, an A and a B and a C in here, then we can look to go long on this one here. So we also need to look, if I've made a mistake with this here, I'm quite clear that I have 5 waves up here, and then we have 5 waves down. So it's possible that we can start moving down from here, and we'll look at that in a moment. But also need to look, if we do get this pattern here, and we need to go long here, where I've possibly made a mistake. So I'm just going to go to another chart here, and this would be where the mistake is. So in the last chart here, we had this wave 4 here sitting over here, and we had this here as an A wave, a B wave over to here, and a small C wave here. But I know when we work through this here, it doesn't look very fancy, but it does count nicely as 5 waves in terms of 1 and 2, and then the third wave in here, and the third wave has 5 waves in it as well in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and then an A, B, C for the 4th and the 5th wave. So I'm thinking that if I've made a mistake, then this is where it will be, and this would be wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and the 5 waves that we've been counting up here, they would just be wave 3 here, and then we'd be looking for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave for wave 4, and then we would move up into wave 5 and then top out just in this space here for the time being. So yeah, that's sort of that really. This move down through here really looks like 5 waves. I'm just going to check that, just bear with me. I'll just look at it on the cash market. The cash market's actually got it as a possible 3 waves down. So let's just go in here to the hourly chart here. I mean, in my first instance, it looks like 5 waves down through to here, but on the cash market, it looks like it's got 5 waves to this little point here, and then an A and then a B wave here. So we could have this whoops-a-daisy, just grab this segment here. So really what we could do here, if I can just drill in here a little bit further, is we can take this top here and this low here. We can have a look at our 50-60% retracement level, which is the 61% retracement level is right on that 6.3 there. So that's really handy actually. So if I just put that in here, so that's sitting right there. So that's the 50 and the 60% retracement level. So if this is an ABC down here, then if we get support on this on the 61.8% mark there, then we need to go long from that point. So I'll just copy that and I'll just bring that down here somewhere, because what we'd be looking for, let's just say that it does go up. Let's just say that the market moves up, and then it will try to sit on there, do you know? So you still, like this here, you still need the first high above the level here to go long on. So get that reference point first. It just makes things a little bit safer, especially when we're unsure of the wave count, and then moving up through to here. So the upside target in the first instance would be around the 63.50, but even at that point there, we would need to get support on this little group one in here, this subgroup one here, number 3 here. And if we were going to move up, then we would also need to count this here as, copy this as wave 1 here, wave 2 in here somewhere, and wave 3 probably on the top here somewhere, wave 4 here, and then wave 5 for this wave 5 to be completed over here. So we're not expecting it to go too far in that regard. At the same time, if this is 5 waves down through to here, then we could also look to go short. Here we just got to keep our options open, so we can go short below here. However, we can go short if that number 72 in here, the 272, becomes the retested resistance. We want to be short at that stage, because that, once again, if we looked at this here as a 61.8% retracement level, then we can look at the support being on that 50 and 60 here. So the 272 is much below that, so that really enables us to be on the right side here at the right time here. So that's there as a retested resistance there, and you can look at least coming down to the 62.50 area here as your target. I'm just going to save that. So a little bit of strategy here. I'll just check the tick chart here. I'm not sure if I've updated that or not. Yeah, a little bit. So this is where we were last time we were speaking. We had wave 1 and 2. We were looking for wave 3, I think, when we had wave 4 and then wave 5 up here. And also note here too that that we didn't find support on top of number 3 here, on top of subgroup 1 here. If that was the case, then you would have kept on going long from that point. And then if you don't know what to do when you're working with the levels, then probably didn't get high enough here actually, so I'll just skip that. But yeah. Okay, so looking at this here, it does appear that this is 5 waves up through to here. Let's just go in and go from 100 ticks to 20 ticks here, and let's just investigate this a little bit. So this is the high here. It's quite clear that we've got 1 and 2 here. And then all of this would be the 3rd wave here. And the 4th, this one doesn't finish off very nicely here, but I'll just assume that it's, well, that's where the problem comes in, really. So it's not clear. I don't end with 5 waves here, so there's something a little bit amiss here. And counting this up here in 5 waves is a bit sketchy as well. In here, I can see parts of it. I can see they've got 5 from. Sometimes it's easier to work back, so 5, so that'll give us wave 4, wave top of wave 3, so that would be a little 4th there, that would be there. So that's 5 waves from here to here. I'm just assuming this would be 1 and 2 in here, and all of this 3, 4, 5. So it does appear we've got 5 waves there. So this is also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the extension of the 5th, a corrective move here. So yeah, I mean, technically, if we're looking at this here, if we were going to move up from here, then this is the 56. I mean, this counts okay as an A wave and a B wave. And this C wave doesn't count very well here. I suppose we would count at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down here for 5 a little bit further. But the main point here, though, is that this is 6.3 over here, 6,300. So on that would get support. But I probably think that if let's just say that this drops down here, further down through here, and if it comes back up, then you could probably go long above this high here. But it still has to drop further back into this 61.8% mark. Anyway, in a nutshell, the safe trade is on 6,300 on that support there, and yeah. So let's see how we go with that. And if it does move to the downside, then it's the 6,250 that we'd be looking at there. And then we would need to look at this as wave 1 and 2 here, and then down for 1 and back for 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd wave, 4th wave, and 5th wave here. So yeah. So let's move on to the other market. So China here. We were looking at China being a rally back to the 11,500. So it's done that and it's stalled there. So we can look for a short trade in here as well, but I really want to see the first leg down. So a little bit like up here, we see that wave 1 down, that wave 2 back, and then we can look to take the low out or draw a line under the trend line through here and go that way. So we don't really have that just yet. I'll just check on a 15-minute chart, see if I can see anything in here. There actually can be one more wave up here. So if I look at this as the A wave and the B wave coming back over to here, then this is 1 and 2, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we could still get one more push up here. So we can look for an A and a B and a C wave back into here, and then one more move up, and then failing from that point. And then this is the 11,500 across here. So if we just allow this to finish off here, then we can also use that there as a reference high to go long on after this particular correction comes into play. So I'll just clean this up here because I'll probably forget to come back to a 15-minute chart. And yeah, so just coming back to that 4-hour chart there, it's possible that it tops in, but it's also possible that we get one more little move down, one move up, and then down, but then that becomes our reference high over here. So we can just copy that and put that there as a reference high there, just in case we made a mistake, because we definitely want to go long on top of a tested support on top of 11,500. Now the Hong Kong market, we were looking at this coming back up into this space here, but obviously the 29,000 is a nice big fat number. So it does appear in this case here that wave 4 is in here. So I'll leave it up to you to find your way in on the short trade here. I mean, technically here we should have been up into this space here for that, but that wasn't the case. So yeah, I'll just have a quick look here. It looks like there could be one more move there too, you know. Depends how I count this. So if I count this here as I've done from here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, then an A wave here, an A and a B and a C for the B wave here, then I should get 5 waves up here. So those 5 waves are 1, A, B, C for 2 here, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we're still one wave short here but at the same time this looks quite bearish here, doesn't it? The other way that this could be countered too, I guess, is if I've made a mistake and this is here and this is here and this is here, and the wave 4 goes here, but then I've got to pull this over to here, so I've got to figure out what I've done wrong in here, and I did give that a fair bit of detail in here, bit of attention, but I'm not used to this Hong Kong market. You know, it's something brought on, it's got its own little idiosyncrasies, you know, it's lunchtime break and all those sorts of things, yeah. Still, if this is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, we should see some sort of rally here anyway. So this may be the low, there may be a bit further to go down, but we should still see a corrective move back up. So let's just wait for that corrective move back up, and then we can look to set up a trigger on that side of the fence there. The Nikkei and the Nifty. So with the Nikkei here, I just want to have a look at two possible counts. First one here is that we've got intermediate wave 3 here, intermediate wave 4 here, and we can look at this as wave 1 to here, then an A wave to here, a B wave to here, and a C wave here, pulling back to the 50-60%. Okay, so in this particular instance, we would look for 5 waves up here, and then coming back 3 waves, and then moving higher through here as such. In fact, moving up into wave 3 here. So that's a possibility. I don't know, I can't confirm that just yet. The other move is bearish, where we have this scenario happening here, where we have wave 3 over here, we have an A wave here with an A and a B and a C wave here, and then we look at this as wave 1 down here, pulling back to wave 2 into the box where it is now, and then wave 3 moving down. If that's going to be the case, well, then we can short this market when 22 becomes the retested resistance on the outside of things. So if all else fails, we'll need to be short in this space here for that. So I'll just turn that green there to remind us. So we want to be short when that becomes the retested resistance. We may be able to get a better situation than that, but we would still catch most of wave 3, so would be safer and still satisfactory. Now let's just drill into the 4-hour chart and see what I've done here, because what we were looking for last time is that we were looking for, I was looking for this to actually just pull back into this space here, and as a wave 4, and then move down, but it's moved way past that, and it's also not only that, the way that it's moved past it is been quite strong so far. With the move up here, it's just in 3 waves, so we've got an A wave to here, so or B wave to here, and then we've got 5 little waves up here, so we've got 3 here. So what we need to look for, if we're going to get 4 and 5 here, if we get that 5 wave structure here, then we know that we're going to be bullish from that point. But as it stands at the moment, we could just about put that right in here for wave 2, and we can come down. So I'll just have a look at the hourly chart now. Yeah, so it's possible. I just don't know if to count this up as wave A, B, and C wave here, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. I just don't know at this particular stage, so we have to see. But if we get this 5th wave here, then we're going to get an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave coming off this 22,500 area here. Yeah, and then we'll be able to look at that. I mean, the retracement should come back to, well, it can come back to the, much lower here into this space here. So let's just say about around the 22 here. But we'll get to that when we get to it. So the takeaway here is that I really need to wait to see if we get 5 waves up or 3 waves up, because we know that just roughly guessing here, we're pretty close to our 50-60% retracement level from all of this move down through here. Actually, while we're here, I better do that. Just to get that, just to be sure. So let's see that play out first, shall we? And then we'll pick that up. So yeah, a little bit unexpected. So now I need to just gather some more information. And the Nifty here. So I've got we talked last time we spoke. We looked at this moving higher through here. Okay, so I'm still unsure of this. I'm still unsure of this count. I know where we are from this move here and how we're going to be moving up here. There's a couple of ways we can look at that here, but I don't know if we call wave 4 low in here and we call this wave 1, an A and a B and a C here, and then we move up into wave 3 up here. I don't know if that's the case, or we still, the other way is that this is just wave B here. So in this case we have some sort of A wave here, B wave here, or yeah, I just don't know. I mean, this has confused me a lot. So just want to go and have a look at a few counts. So one of the counts that I've had is that from this low here, counting wave 1 and 2 here, and 3 here, and 4 here, and it's possible to count 5 waves in this little structure here in terms of wave 1 here, an A and a B and a C for wave 2, then wave 3 and wave 4, and then wave 5 here for wave 1, then an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here for wave 2 here. And if that's the case, then I need to look at this here as wave 1 and 2 here. And this also counts as, from here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave 1 and 2 here. And then all of this would just be the third wave here. So this has still got more to unfold here. In fact, if I look at it like this, then from this wave 1 and 2 here, we're still a long way off from getting this wave 3 to come into play here with this wave 4 here, and then this wave 5 here. So we could have quite a bullish charge from here. We did look at going long above this top and then bringing it down to this top, and then you may have even got the support on this little area through here. So we need to see how this plays out. There's the other way for this to play out too, where this here, I'll just show here first, is that we put wave 3 here, wave 4 here, and wave 5 in here. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, an extension in the 5th wave here. So that's also possible as well, just to chuck a spanner in the works. And we'll just go to the 1 hour chart. Yeah. So this is the chart that when we spoke last time, this is what we were looking at here. So we had wave 1, 2 in here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. The trouble with this one is wave 4 here overlaps wave 1 here. So that's why it's probably not correct. And it's okay to have an extension in the 5th wave, but it's more likely to be, this is more likely to be the 3rd wave up here. Okay, so we might need to readjust that, but in the short time there's not a lot that's going. This horse has run its race here for the time being, so in one way or another it's going to have this sort of pattern here to contend with over the next few sessions. So it's not going to go far here. So if you're long, then you can stay, you know, up into the 11,000 area here, and if we get support, then we can move on from that area there. So we'll trade the levels at this stage, but we still need to get clarification on the larger wave count here. Okay, a long video, but I had a fair bit to get through, so thanks for your patience. Cheers.